Greetings, friends. It's Mark Overson. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for being on time. Thanks for being here. I know we have a lot of guests. We had a real surge of registrations in the last 3 hours or so. So I don't know if all the leaders went crazy and started mailing their lists, or if you were a prospect and you were talking to a potential sponsor and they said, hey, you got to check this out. Not sure what really went down there, but we had a big surge in registration, so we're glad you can be here. What we're going to talk about today, we'll give a couple minutes for people to come on real quick, but let's do this. Why don't you shoot me in the question area? First, raise your hand if you can hear me, okay? Lets me know that we've got sound connection throughout the house here, which is great. Simon, good to see you on here. And in the question area, I'd like to hear from 3 or 4 people, like the number one reason you are here tonight. What's the number one reason you carved out this 30 minutes to focus on? Let us know. Let us know. I'd like more than 3 or 4, but I'm looking for 3 or 4 number one reason you're here out of any other reasons. Fire them out in the questions, and I'll read them out. I'll leave your names out of it so you can do it anonymously with no fear as more and more people keep coming on. So let me see here. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. Let us know the number one reason you're here. If you're a guest, you might be here just checking it out. And again, people keep arriving every second, so I'm kind of chilling. But Simon says, to turn my business into a monthly 5-figure income, that's what we like to hear, Dave, is coming back into the system. Dave, I remember when you got your platinum, it was over a year ago, I think, with. Keep them coming. And if you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Mark Overson. I'm live right now in Phoenix, Arizona. Sunny today, depending on where you're from. Hopefully you had a good day of weather and a good day of productivity. We're going to get started in just another minute or so. What we're looking for is the top reason that you're here. Amanda's here because she just loves GRN. That's what I like to see. Let's do this. If you're here and you haven't joined yet, but you're here tonight to kind of look at the product, look at the pay plan, just get a better feel for who we are, kind of, doing your due diligence a little bit. I'll leave your name out of it, but raise your hand so I can get an idea of who's here kind of on, got the heat-seeking missile, looking at the product, looking at the pay plan. I see that. I see those hands. I see that hand. I see that hand. And I see, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to call you guys out, but I see your hands. And so really more than anybody, if I can focus more to you guys and you girls, men and women that are looking at this product, what we sell, why we sell it, how we sell it. In a little bit, I'm going to open up for some existing members to share what they like best about GRN, and I want to plant a little seed here that when I ask for that to the GRNers that are on the line, I want to be completely deluged with hands raised, and I'll unmute you, and you can share, if it was a vacation that you took that you loved, why you bought it, if you bought it so you could someday take your family on vacation more, or make a full-time stay-at-home income, or whatever really brought you here. We're gonna get to that eventually. So a little preface that I am going to ask for a couple testimonies from existing members. They can be travel testimonies, or they can be, we won't say exact income claims because we like staying legal and we don't want to make income claims. But let's just get to the point. All right, here we go. Raise your hand if you're ready, and then I'm going for it. I'm going full tilt, I'm going with everything I got. Raise your hand. It's good for me to see a little interaction. So here we go. If you look, this is called, what you see on the screen is called, it's at buyatimeshare.com, and these ads cost between $400 and $800 to host, and this is an advertising platform on buyatimeshare.com where people who have purchased timeshares at resorts can go on something called a reseller market, the equivalent of a used car lot of timeshares, and they can pitch their timeshare weeks for a discount, and they give information about the situation. Now, what you're looking at here are 2 real ads, and I'm just going to march through the product a little bit. I'm going to march through the pay plan. I'm going to tell you about why it works, how it works, why it's been working for so many years. But what you'll see right now is you'll see The Wyndham Cypress Palm, about 10 weeks of usage and annual fees, $46.80 in annual fees. That's for maintenance fees. That keeps flat screen TVs, granite counters. That keeps the pool at this resort, up to speed in the landscaping. $122,500 for about 10 weeks of ownership, plus an annual $46.80 in annual fees. Raise your hand if you know anybody who owns a condo or a timeshare, sorry. If you know anybody who's done the timeshare thing, you've heard of them. Maybe you've heard them complain about their maintenance fees. That's what you probably have heard. By and large, the timeshare ownership, it's 80 to 90% satisfaction rate in the industry at large. So people generally like what their owner experience. That's for about 10 weeks. If you look at a different ad in the same website, they were doing 1 week of ownership. Now, what you'll see is this is 1 week per year. It's $300 in annual maintenance. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-unit. Annual means 1 year. It's a motivated seller, $16,000. Now, here's what gets really cool. Inside our Global Resorts Network membership. Cha-ching. Now, take a look at this. This is what even gets funnier. Is 1 week. If you look, and I have a bit of a cough, so I apologize, but if you look at Expedia's very best price, their best price guarantee for a February 10th to a February 17th 2-bedroom unit, $5,200, $5,227.81. That's Expedia's best price, and that's because this is a prime winter getaway. This is during the cold chill of winter, February 10th to 17th, so people want to escape to Orlando. This is right near Disney, which equals pricey real estate, and it's $5,200 plus to stay there for a week on Expedia's best price. If you look inside our membership, I just snapped this with our membership, February 10th to February 17th, the exact dates. Wyndham Cypress Palms, the exact resort, 2-bedroom unit, the exact room, $546. This is 89.6% cheaper. Now, here's what's crazy. With a price like that, and at the heart of GRN, what we do is, I can't prove it because nobody really keeps track of these things, but I don't think I can prove it, but I can at least assert the potentiality that Global Resorts Network has caused more vacations to spontaneously occur for families, for couples, for romances, for you name it, than any other travel medium in the world. Because at $5,200 plus, just a lot of people aren't going on that vacation. It's just not an option. But when they see that they can stay in a 2-bedroom, they can take the kids to Disney's. This is 7 nights. It'd be cheaper to stay at this near Disney premium winter getaway than it would be to stay in a Motel 6 for a week in Fargo, North Dakota. And I'm not making that up. At a price this cheap, this causes the family to go on vacation. Raise your hand if that makes sense. See, what GRN does isn't just save people money. What GRN does is it causes people, it causes couples. It caused my son and I to do a father-son retreat to Puerto Vallarta, stayed at a Mayan Palace. Other people are paying $2,500 for the week. We paid $525. These cheap prices caused that experience. This is another example. Let me just show you another one. This is the Cabos Beach Villas Resort and Spa. This is a 4-star property. Most of our properties are upper to a 3-star property. 3-star properties are pretty nice. They're Wyndhams, they're Marriotts. Well, Marriotts are sometimes 4, sometimes 3. It depends. But this particular resort in Cabo is a 4-star. And if you look at the pricing, what you'll see is January 28th to February 4th, 1-bedroom unit on Expedia's best price, January 28th to February 4th, 1-bedroom unit, Cabos Villas Beach Resort and Spa, $2,274.37, $2,200. You look at us, $398 for the identical unit at the identical resorts with the identical dates, 82.5% off Expedia. And what this causes, it was a vacation just like this that I saw was in our membership, and I said, you know what, I'm booking it. and we're taking Isaac and I, and we're going to go swim with dolphins in Puerto Vallarta. We got on horseback rides, and you save so much money that there's extra money. With the extra money I saved for the father-son trip, I rented a deep-sea fishing boat just for my son and I. Like, you could go with groups and stuff, but we saved so much money, I just rented the whole boat myself. We went out, we went fishing. Same thing with Hawaii. Same thing with several of the trips that I've taken. But let me show you more examples. Here's another example. This is a primo example. Wyndham Branson is known as kind of the Disney of, it's kind of the country version of Disney. But if you go to Expedia's best price, the 2-bedroom unit, Wyndham Branson at the Meadows, $530 a night plus tax. The week is $4,100. Now look at this date though, May 20th to May 27th. That's right before the humidity takes over Branson. You can look in our resort and you'll see the exact same resort. You look inside our membership, Wyndham Branson at the Meadow, the exact same units, May 20th to May 27th. The exact same, like I said, unit, 2-bedroom. This is the equivalent of having a miniature home waiting for you. It's got the full kitchen, breakfast bar, dining room, little living room area, deck, 2 bedrooms. There'll be 2 bathrooms down there. The master will have a bathroom. The other bedroom, there'll be a bathroom in the hallway. $398. That's 91% off Expedia's best price. You know, I don't know if Ed is on here or not, but what's funny is we just had no, Ed's not on tonight, but a gentleman from I think he's from Kansas City. He just bought his Platinum within the last month or so, or maybe it was a little longer, but very, very recently. And he saw this example, and he said, my wife and our kids, we went to Wyndham Branson, and they tried to sell us a 1 week for $18,000. And he said, in this, $398 for a week with no maintenance fees in your membership, the membership costs $5,000, no maintenance fees. And then I can refer other people to it and make $2,000 sales, I'm in. And so he actually bought this, and he told his wife, he said, now we can go to the Wyndham Branson, and we can pay a fraction of what we would have paid if we bought ownership, if we bought timeshare. Absolutely thrilling. And again, my point is, every single week there are, I guess I could look up these numbers at some point, but every week, all year for the last 5 years, Global Resorts is causing people to have lifetime memories that they laugh and giggle about for 25, 30, 40 years. That's what we do because of prices like this. At $398, a family that can't really afford this, they don't want to buy a $15,000 timeshare. They can afford a $5,000 membership that they can put on a couple credit cards and take the kids to Wyndham for $398. Raise your hand if you kind of see the heartbeat that GRN causes vacations. It doesn't just save money. A lot of you are affiliates, and we always tout how much the savings are. But the thing that people don't really want to do is they don't want to save money. Believe it or not, they just want to go on vacation and be happy about it. See, they're not going at $4,000, but they're going at $400. And that's the GRN promise. And as an affiliate, when you share this, the potential of how this can change your life, it's hard to put a real quantity on it in terms of the quality of life that you can enjoy, plus the financial benefits, the time freedom, this and that. Here's another example. If you look at Bookit.com, this was my wife and I almost did this because we were flying back to North Dakota on the 24th, and we were actually going to use this week, but we decided not to. But if you look December 18th to December 25th, this is at the Mayan Palace in Rocky Point, 2-bedroom suite. It actually sleeps 6. That's my error. These red writings are mine. But this is a premium holiday winter week. I didn't know it, but a lot of families go on vacation for the holidays. We always just go back to home, but a lot of families go on vacation. So on Bookit.com, $3,023. On our membership, Mayan Palace Puerto Penasco, it's Rocky Point, same exact place, December 18th to December 25th, two-bedroom unit, $398. It's identical everything. The only difference is when you're a member inside GRN and you own our resorts, you get to save 87% off what people in the retail space pay. And if you compared it to the benefits that you get versus if someone bought a timeshare at the Mayan Palace Rocky Point, probably floating for a week anywhere from 10K and beyond, plus probably $799 annual maintenance fees, give or take, something like that. We go there and we enjoy it cheaper than the owners who paid 10K to get to only pay $799 later. We get to go for cheaper than the owners. And what's so powerful about this whole program is that in the online marketing space, something has to be sold. And I was in home business for a while before I realized, oh my gosh, all that's happening, and this is going to be like obvious 101, but it took me a year or so to figure it out, is that at the end of the day, people, this is supposed to be their hand, this is money. People have to pay their money to get something back, okay? And what I've learned is that if they pay, let's say this represents some amount of money, three things of money, and what they get back can save them a multiple more than the money that they pay. But even more than that, it can cause an increase in joy in their life, an increase in quality of life, and this and that and the other thing. The equation works very well because the cost for the savings, just on one of these trips I've showed you, the savings anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 on a single trip. Our whole membership, now you get 10 weeks per year at our Platinum level. At our Platinum Plus level, it's $12,500. It's a 20-week membership. The reason we created this membership, and I'm not making this up, there's witnesses that will tell you this is true. We had people who were using the full 10 weeks because the deals were so good. They were seeing a deal like this, and they were staying a week in Florida. They were staying 3 to 4 weeks in Florida. They were staying 4 to 5 weeks in a row in Hawaii, bouncing around, and they ate up all the weeks because they were so good. And they had the lifestyle freedom to do that because it was so cheap too. So what happened is there was a demand for a bigger product. So we created a 20-week, $12,500 package. And that might sound like a lot of money, but can you imagine, I mean, just imagine, and I'm not making this up at any level, how it works with us. We're a $5,000 or a $12,500 investment for either 10 weeks or 20 weeks. And I'm not making this up at any level at all. And if any of you have questions, if you want me to define what I mean by this, I will. But each week you can use between $398 and $799. You get 10 weeks of that. If you're a Platinum member, you get 20 weeks annually. If you're a Platinum Plus member, the weeks do not roll over. They are every year they start over. Now, I would rather have our Platinum membership at $5,000 in terms of practical use than I would rather have this membership. If you gave me this and said, you know what, you don't even have to pay the $122,000 to get in the door. Just pay us the $5,000 a year. I would say, no, I don't want to. I don't like this. I don't feel good about this deal. And here's what the powerful thing is. I just got off the phone, not even an hour ago, with somebody who sold timeshare. And what she told me, if I can recount the story somewhat accurately, is she said she would sit across from people who were global members on timeshare property. She was a top earning timeshare sales lady, and she would sell to existing owners. But sometimes she'd encounter somebody who was a member in GRN. And she said, when you encountered somebody who was a member in GRN, because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who take these trips all the time, all over the world, and we go crazy on Facebook about them. We brag about them. We love, I mean, it's exciting. But she said when we would meet with a person like that, we knew we had no chance to sell them anything. There's nothing you could help them with. You couldn't even give them a good deal. They had the best deal. And what's really powerful about this, and Debbie's actually on the line here, I'm not going to call you out necessarily, but she has a teammate in Canada. She has a couple in Canada that seems to they like to take these cheapo trips to Cabo and Puerto Vallarta, Cancun. They like to go to Mexico, and then they just tell their friends and their family, like, here's how we do this. We're not paying what normal people pay. We're not paying $2,200. We're not paying We're not paying $4,000. We're not paying $3,000. We're not paying $5,000. We're paying $500. We're paying $300. We're paying $200. And what happens is every time this couple makes a sale because of our pay plan, every time they make a sale, they make $2,000. Every time they make a sale because Debbie introduced them to the opportunity and to the product, Debbie also makes $2,000. This is one of the highest, I don't know of anything that's remotely legit that can pay out the amount that we pay out. And the company makes, I mean, figure it out. We take in $5,000, we pay out $4,000, and then we still provide customer service, software. We do a lot for the affiliates, and we're paying out 80%. It's incredible. But what's really cool is this couple has, they keep making sales, and Debbie keeps making this matching. So that's the power of the passive income. The power of a personal sale is when you make a sale, all you've got to do is show some pre-existing footage that we have, invite your prospects, like many of you were invited tonight, to a webinar where either I'll host it or a teammate will host it or something. Let us answer the questions. Let us show some of the examples. Let us kind of help you close the sale and leverage us. I've sold well over $1 million myself of this membership because I'm super intensely passionate about it. So in a nutshell, I've been bragging enough. What I want to do is I'd like to hear from a member or two of GRN, somebody that's bought the Platinum membership, and alls I'd like you to share is the main reason you joined and what you like best about it. It doesn't have to be that you made a ton of money. It doesn't have to be that you travel every week. But basically the number one reason that you got started that you'd like to share with, we've got a lot of guests, and we've got a lot of leaders that invited a lot of guests. But I'd like to hear from you the top reason that you joined GRN and the thing you like the very best about it. So you can raise your hand, and then what I want to do is I'm probably going to pull up your Facebook status just so you know it. And I want to hear from you real quick while you share. So I am ready, GRNers. Bring it forward. Okay, Simon, here we go. Simon, my man. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
I've never been better. Simon, are we Facebook friends yet? I don't even know.
We are, actually. I've sent you a message. There you are.
There we are. Well, I should get back to it at some point. Anyway, so I get a few Facebook messages. But Simon, tell us, I happen to know you're a huge traveler. You live in the Cayman. But what did you like best about GRN, and what caused you to get going about it? We'd love to hear your story in just a quick nutshell.
The simple reality about this, I've got a timeshare.
Yeah. And if you could talk just a little louder, it'll help the cause. Go ahead.
All right, sorry. I've got a timeshare. It cost me over $20,000 to buy, and I've got to admit I've never actually been there.
Wow.
I have used a couple of the sister properties of it, but I think each year now I'm getting charged about $1,200 in maintenance fees.
Wow.
So this is, the product is an absolute no-brainer, but what I got it for was not to actually, obviously the travel benefits are great, but I got it to make an income from home.
I love it. I love it. And Simon, I know you are an avid traveler, and do you see this, everybody? 20 grand plus 1,200. And in the past, it's not like you were scammed or anything. It's just people, if you would have known about GRN, now that knowing what you now know, do you wish somebody would have marketed to you, reached out to you, that you would have found out about GRN before you spent that 20K?
Absolutely. And I mean, at the moment, I can't even sell that. So it's worth, that 20 grand is worth, actually, it was probably about 23 grand, is worth nothing now.
So, my friends, this is the power of the opportunity. Simon, I appreciate you jumping out. I really do. We're going to hear from a couple other teammates real quick. And let's do it. I know we've got a lot of guests, and I want to take some guest questions in a minute, but I just want to hear from a couple existing teammates. Matt, talk to me. Matt Heltzel.
What's up?
I'm just rocking the gas, but tell us, Matt, why did you join GRN? As you can see, everybody, Matt is a young, freshly married man. He bought GRN. First off, why did you buy the GRN membership?
I bought it probably, I guess, mostly for the business opportunity, but also for travel and stuff after marriage and whatnot. But I guess the number one reason was just to be positioned in a place that I could start making 2K commissions. Suddenly, as soon as you make that purchase, you are in a completely different place. I'm in a position where I can actually make $2,000 in 15 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever, as where with my current part-time job, it takes 2 weeks or a month or whatever. So
that's the beautiful thing. Now, Matt, a funny little backstory on this is my wife babysat Matt when he was a little boy. And Matt, you just saw our trips on Facebook, or what brought you to GRN in the first place?
I don't actually know. I was sitting in my dorm room my freshman year, just being a college freshman, I guess, and came across a video. So it actually took me, I don't know, like 3 years or whatever to finally get around to purchasing. So.
Well, but what was cool about it?
I just saw it on Facebook.
What was cool about it, though, was, and Matt, I'm assuming just, he saw, you knew Shanny and I's lifestyle and vacationing all the time, and then obviously Escalade, new cars, new homes, new trips. I mean, everything was really great. I mean, GRN completely changed my life in every way. Right. And what was really awesome is now, Matt, you saw the thing. You buy it for the future, exactly how I bought it. I bought it on a credit card with 22% interest, just hoping that I was going to someday have the time freedom to even be able to pay the $400, the money and the time freedom to even have the $400 to pay for a week to be able to use this stupid thing. And now I use it galore. I upgraded to the Platinum Plus, of course. And it's extremely powerful thing. So, Matt, thanks for sharing. What's your vision? What's your vision for GRN personally?
Yeah, my vision, well, my wife and I are actually, believe it or not, moving to Colorado in May, so nice. There are some pretty legit resorts out there. We're actually going to hopefully use that this winter, maybe do some snowboarding or something.
Nice.
Out in Vail, and yeah, I'm really for the future, developing kind of a coaching center where I can train new internet marketers specifically with GRN, and see where it leads.
I love it. Matt, you thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Let's hear from one more teammate, and then I'm going to cash out the testimonies, and I want to take a couple questions. Amanda, did you have your hand raised, or was I dreaming that? Okay, Amanda, I'm going to unmute you. Amanda Robertson, are you out there?
I am, Mark. How are you doing?
I've never been better. Amanda, talk to us. What do you think about GRN? Why do you like it? What's your story? Talk to us.
Yeah, Mark, I think just, doing due diligence on businesses. It ticked all the boxes for me. The people involved, the ethics, just pretty much everything. And
right.
If you have big ambitions, you need a big company to fulfill that. So here I am.
Right. So you've been in everything and you've tried everything. I like it. And you came in, what is it about particularly with GRN that, because Amanda, I know her story. She comes from you and your husband. I mean, I don't know how much you want to share, but you guys were doing really well. And all of a sudden you ended up in this industry as a way to bring back a great deal of money to replace and also live live a lifestyle of kind of adventure. I mean, you're pretty cool. You do fun. I mean, you guys got to come to a live event and meet Amanda. I'm just going to leave it at that. But Amanda, yeah, I'm not going to tell. I mean, she's had like pet cougars and like tigers. Didn't you have some crazy animals that were like your pets, kind of? What was it?
Yeah, not quite cougars and tigers. A creature called a cheetah, which is very easily domesticated. So yeah.
That's what I mean. Just a cheetah. It's like a kitty. It's just a cheetah. But anyway,
Yeah.
Amanda, she's she's wild. But tell us, in your searches in this, and Amanda's made a handful of sales, not millions of sales, but she's been in the game. What do you like about GRN based on what you've seen and got into it, and why have you come to this as something that you're building?
Out of everything that I've dabbled with, and there's been a few things, GRN definitely, it's, where my passion is, the lifestyle it can provide for my family,
All right.
Just the travel side and from the business side. And yeah, you've got to have a decent business with it, not just bringing in other people into the business, but a product that is totally, saleable. And that's what I really enjoy about it. It's a really good product.
I love it. All right, Amanda, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. And I was just getting back to I was typing you an email before this webinar, so I will get that to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Mark.
All right, thanks, Amanda. All right, we have there's a handful more that would like to share, and let's just do it real quick. Dan Walsh. Dan, are you out there?
I am.
Dan, thanks
Can you
for
hear me?
jumping out and sharing. Tell us, what about GRN and why? And everybody, this is off the cut. I mean, this is just live. Is that you right there, Dan?
That's me.
All right, let's do it. So
Yep.
you're a member of GRN. Tell us your story.
Yeah, I just joined a couple weeks ago, and well, what can I tell you? My wife and I love travel.
It appears that way. Is that you right here?
That's me. Yeah, that's we're actually in Jordan there near Petra, if you know where that is.
Of course.
And,
Everybody goes to
and-
Jordan near Petra.
Yeah.
That's standard.
And we actually that picture is actually taken on a it's kind of a dream trip we did a few years ago. Which all our life we kind of dreamed about just taking a year and traveling around the world. And
Right.
we finally found a way to make it happen. And actually it was Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week that kind of kicked us in the butt to get creative and do it.
That book is what transformed my life, literally. The GRN
Yeah.
with the 4-hour work week, it was like the perfect marriage of what I was looking for.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
and it's even better because here's what the 4-hour work week leaves out. Raise your hand, everybody, if you've heard of the 4-hour work week. Best-selling business book on how to work less, earn more money, retire rich, all that jazz. You got to pick this book up. Please, my friends, pick this book up because it was so provocative, the ideas of how technology and the new infrastructure of the new way of economy, which is highly internetized, you can create a minimal amount of work and a maximum amount of freedom. So it's not just about making money, it's about having time, freedom. And what I think the missing link in that is the leverage of team earning, collective earning, meaning, Dan, who did you join with, if I may ask?
Michelle.
So you joined with
That's
Michelle.
Michelle.
So the cool thing about that is when you make money, Michelle makes money. So Michelle just basically expanded in a sense, she added another income stream by having you as a teammate. And every time you add a new teammate, if that teammate decides to refer friends and family, and oftentimes travelers are friends with travelers, they refer more and more people, and it's like you're adding a new income stream every time an affiliate starts promoting this. It's a super way to ramp up leverage. And the 4-hour work week covers everything, but I think this whole idea of multiplying your leverage through other people, although it talks about outsourcing, all that jazz, this was just a really profound marriage of the 4-hour work week and GRN together. So Dan, tell us your vision. What do you like best about? Well, you already kind of told us that, but what's your personal vision for GRN?
Well, it's been ever since we came back from that experience. It's been my dream to completely be able to run my own business from wherever I want. I mean, we love where we live now. We live in Ojai, California, but it's just to be able to take advantage of the incredible inventory in this membership, which is just blowing me away. I mean, we were in Thailand, and there were so many places that I could have gone to that we could have enjoyed.
We have
some
amazing
incredible stuff.
inventory in Thailand. We have great.
Yeah, I mean, just there are incredible resorts in Phuket that when we were there, we were like, oh, we can't afford that stuff. We're gonna go stay over here at the cheap place. And if we had had this membership, forget it. It just would have. So it's really like the perfect marriage of the two things that are just the most valuable to me. So
I love it.
my vision is to enjoy it as a customer and take it all the way as a business owner.
I appreciate, Dan. And I look forward to meeting you at some event at some point, somewhere. So
yeah, I'll see you at No Excuses.
You're awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, Dan. I'm excited that you shared. All right, we have a bunch more people that Dan. I'm going to mute you out here if I can find you. I appreciate you sharing. I'd love to hear from. Okay. I do want to get to questions. We keep hearing. More affiliates want to share. Gary, are you out there? Gary Armstrong. Gary. Maybe that's an accidental hand raise. Maybe your mic's not ready. All right, we'll hear from one more affiliate if you want to share. I'm lowering all hands so we can start from scratch. Amanda, let's try Amanda Evans. Amanda, are you out there? Amanda Evans, are you there? Maybe not. Okay, let's do one more. We'll do one more because I said we would. Amanda, I know it sounded like your microphone was a little off there. One more person we'll hear from real quick if you raise your hand. If not, I'm going to move on to any questions that our guests have. All right, let's hear from Gail. Okay, hang on, Gail. I'm working on it here. Gail, are you out there?
Hey, I'm here.
Gail, I don't know if you have a Facebook, but I'm going to... Oh, there you
Yeah,
are.
I do.
Oh, perfect.
I'm
Well,
pretending I'm there.
Gail, there you are. Tell us.
I definitely joined because we are a member RCI and I abuse it. I'm one of those lucky people. My parents put the travel bug in me. My dad flew for the airlines when it was fun to fly.
Nice.
So when I got into it, I realized, wow, RCI, every time you travel somewhere, it's like when you come out of the airport, don't talk to those people. They're going to make you go to a timeshare thing.
Yeah.
And, don't even look at them. Don't take what they want. So we joined RCI because we utilize the Orlando area, which is right by Tampa, for our nieces. So when they become of age of, when they can party on their own, this is a place where they always can go.
Nice.
We have not the same location. We have points so we can come and go.
Right.
So when Brenda introduced me to RGN, I just was like, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I bought it. She goes, oh, you travel everywhere. I do take a vacation and go off the wall places for 3 weeks to a month.
Wow.
Last year was New Zealand. There was a location in our GRN thing, but because of the Rugby World Cup, they were booked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It was okay. We had a backup thing, but we were in Indonesia the year before. So when people say they travel, I'm like, we're not going down to Disney World.
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere else.
Okay, so you're a serious traveler. So tell me, with GRN, what's your vision? Are you growing the affiliate, or are you just going to use it for the membership?
I'm doing both.
Okay.
I took it for the affiliate side because I like to spend money,
Right.
and this is a great affiliate program. We are working on Brenda's team now, and we all have different groups and homework. So my website gets launched and everything this week, so I
love it.
cannot complain.
Now, here's what's cool, Gail. Elisa here, she likes to go to Hawaii. You just send, all you got to do is show her a couple GRN Hawaii offerings. We have awesome Hawaii offerings all the time.
Even better, I see her next week in person.
Well, done deal. Have her watch that 36-minute video.
I will, because I'll have a captured audience for 30 minutes.
Yeah, tell her to watch that before you talk so you can talk about it. Oh, it'll be great. All right, Gail, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. And, okay, we're going to cut off affiliates now. Thank you to a handful of people I hadn't really met much, so I appreciate that. And here we go. Just love Jaren. Here we go. Why would So here is a question. Amanda said, why would you not buy 2 regular platinums for $5,000 each instead of buying the $12,500 20-week? It's because the $5,000 price is an introductory price. You can only buy one of them. It's kind of like a coupon at the store, limit 3 kind of thing. This is a limit 1. And when somebody buys a 20-week package, basically our membership works. Our membership works by, we have the size of our membership, and then the admin goes out to resorts and basically calculates usage for the next year. So when we get a 20-week user potential, they have to calculate. It holds more weight than a 10-week user, because the average 10-week user buyer probably uses 1 week, maybe 2. A 20-week buyer is more apt to use maybe 8, maybe 15. So actually it takes the admin, it's kind of a risk assessment, not really risk, but calculating, because then they go forward and they create contracts based on a year in advance, these kind of things. So the other reason is our platinum at $4,995 will more than likely climb in price in 2013, and it's going to eventually, over the next probably 24 months, it will be priced more at market, which would be like $89.95 or something like that versus $49.95. Because at $4,995, it's just ridiculously cheap. It's cheap. It's too cheap. When you compare to the alternative, 1 week at the Wyndham Cypress Palms is this price, $16,000 plus $300 a year for 1 week usage. 1 week at the Wyndham Cypress Palms to go is $5,000. In our club is $500. We can price this with perfect integrity at $89.95, and that's where the future is heading. We'll probably keep the $12,500. We'll probably keep that at the 20-week price for years to come, but the platinum price will continue to rise over the next couple of years because it can and it should. And it's just a great product, and our marketing's getting better. Our affiliate base is understanding the membership more, so they have more articulation when they sell it. And hopefully that's a great question. And Amanda, that's the answer. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Amanda didn't have a mic. Oh, Amanda's a guest. Well, there you go. Okay, let's see. More questions. I own timeshare, and sometimes finding availability can be very difficult. Is it easy to get a place with GRN? This is the great question, and here's the thing. Now, and I want everybody to understand the question. The question is, I already own timeshare. I own it, and it can be difficult to get a place. Now, there's several reasons it can be difficult to get a place, and one is, let's say you own through the Wyndham itself or something. That's a network in itself. Or let's say you own with Lawrence Welk, the Welk Resorts. That's a network. Or let's say it's Interval. You earn with Interval, or you earn with Shell. What happens is your inventory, primarily the point systems, and it's complicated and all this jazz, but the gist of it is Shell, first priority Shell is Shell. So if you see a resort and you want to, transfer to the Welk, you're kind of put in the back burner, so the Welk people are first, and then there's a little transference fee, and Shell can only do so many. It gets very convoluted and the algorithm gets super complex with how it is with ownership. How it is with GRN is, especially if you've watched our 36-minute video that describes our product, we have direct contracts with the Wyndham, with the Welks, with Intervals, with Shells, plus as an owner, you know how as an owner you have the live feed, which is like Red Weeks and Hot Weeks, which are super cheap. Usually those are only for owners. It's called a live feed. We have that live feed as well, so our membership base includes all these, plus we have something called member-to-member bookings. Now, member-to-member bookings are really cool. I was just talking to another gentleman today. He is looking at the product. He owns 10 weeks of timeshare, and he says the worst thing is if I don't use all 10 weeks, and he literally owns 10 weeks. He said I end up having to pay money, and I don't like that. And I said what we have with member-to-member is you can host your unused weeks inside our club, but they have to be hosted for $398 to $799, and GRN has no broker fee, so there's no listing fee. Like if you were to go to buyatimeshare.com and try to list your unused weeks, it can cost anywhere from $300 to $700 and beyond for listing on these sites that deal directly with owners. So some people say, how can you beat the direct owner pricing? Because if you rent directly from an owner, 9 out of 10 times we're cheaper. People say, how is that possible? Because for the owner to show up on their classified ad in the newspaper, or for the owner to show up on buyatimeshare.com or rentatimeshare.com or any of these things, they're paying between $300 to $700 for the listing. The average maintenance fee is $700, so you're already at about $1,400 so that they can break even on the week that they're going to lose. This is a tragedy, my friends. Instead, you can stay at those same resorts listed in the member-to-member, and the members know that members don't like to pay more than about $525 for a week. So our inventory deals with, it's just broader and richer. Now, what I would say in particular, because this is a great question, Amanda, is if you say to yourself, you'll be happier with GRN like this. If you say, we want to do the Florida beach in January, or let's say February. Now, you're going to be happy. GRN, and I can't ever guarantee at any point, even though it always happens, I can't guarantee, yes, you're going to get a spot. We just don't use that word. But what happens is if you say, I want Florida beach, doesn't have to be Daytona, might be Pebble. I mean, it might be a different beach, but I want Florida beach, and I want it on the beach, or next to it. You'll be able to find it. If you say I want, or if you're like, I need this Wyndham at this resort this exact day. So if you're like third week of July, it's got to be Daytona Beach on the Wyndham Boardwalk. See, even if as an owner, it's going to be difficult to get that, even as an owner. In GRN, if you say, I want third week July, Florida Beach, you're going to get it. Raise your hand, everybody, if you see what I'm saying. GRN is not, GRN, because we have so much inventory, we're going to find you something comparable to what your perfect dream is. But realize that people who own timeshares, they'll pay some will pay as low as $7,000 for a week of timeshare, but that has very little power. Most people are paying $10,000 to $15,000 plus for a week of timeshare, plus the maintenance fees of $600 and beyond, and they're not as happy as you're going to be. So just FYI, where GRN is best is where people love to be more than anywhere else. Mountains of Colorado, you're going to be happy. Vegas, we got a ton of inventory. Arizona, ton of inventory. California, ton of inventory. 53 resorts encompassing Hawaii. We've got inventory there. Now, you want to do North Dakota, there's just no timeshare resorts there. People just don't go there. This is not going to happen. You want to do Ohio, it's just not a lot of action in Ohio. So a lot of the Midwest, Branson, we've got inventory in Branson. So realize where people love to go is where we have inventory. Where there's not much traffic, there's not much inventory. And this is because we like to appeal to the masses, because that's where the massive money is. Also, as an affiliate making $2,000 per commission, you want to have inventory where people want to go. They want to go to Orlando, we've got a ton of inventory in Orlando. They want to go to Hawaii, we've got a ton of inventory in Hawaii. We serve the masses like we serve them in a way that is so unique, and we have a product that is so underpriced, and the competition cannot touch it. 10 weeks for $5,000, you're paying $398 to $799 a week. Our $12,500 Platinum Plus, paying a $7,000 commission. If you're qualified at that level, that's like selling a home for some people. That's like a real estate agent selling a home. But the power of it is it's a better deal. $12,500 is a better deal than buying 1 week of timeshare there. 20 weeks, it's the same thing as having all these condos waiting for you in the best real estate in the world. That's what we're selling. We're selling the alternative to vacation ownership, vacation home ownership. We're selling the alternative to timeshare ownership. It's an extremely powerful product in itself, and that's what carries us, is our product. Because at the end of the day, like I started this whole webinar with, at the end of the day, there has to be somebody who's looking, and in order to make money, somebody has to stick out their credit card and say, you know what? Yeah, I feel good about buying this. I feel good about whatever this product is, because what comes back to me is greater than the money that I pay. That is the golden goose to getting rich, my friends. What Global Resorts will do is it'll give you access literally to billions and billions of dollars of the finest product out there, which is developed real estate on premium resort properties, on the best oceans, the best golf courses, the best mountains, the best jungles in the world. This is billions of dollars, and the cost of creating our end result, what our consumers get to experience right next to Disney. I just talked to Sue Hale out of gentleman who bought Platinum a couple years ago in Canada. I just chatted with him on Facebook. He said, I just went to Orlando. We were 10 minutes from Disney. My family was blown away. These are billions of dollars is the cost of creating our product. Your members get to tap into it, and it's like they just get to, it's like they're part of a worldwide country club, that they get the deepest discounts, cheaper than literally a week at Motel 8. It's unbelievable. I love this product. I love this pay plan. All right, gang. Great questions. Amanda said I answered a good enough question, so that's good. Ryan says, and this is fair. Ryan says this looks and sounds like a pyramid scam. Well, Ryan, that's a fair question. And here's the answer to that. A pyramid, by law, just so you know, a pyramid has no product, and it has no use. It has no non-commissionable buyer. And that's what I mean, is that nobody would actually buy the product unless they were going to make money by buying it. Meaning you have to buy it, and nobody outside of affiliates would ever buy it. Well, we have people every week that buy this product only for the product, purely for the product. The other thing is, we've been in business for 5 years. If you go to, if you look at Better Business Bureau, Global Resorts Network, if you took a review, what you'll see is we have an A- rating. We've been in business for 5 years, an A- rating after millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. If this was at all a scam, if our travel benefits weren't what they said they were, we would be so smoked. Social media would destroy us, and we wouldn't have a chance of living. And we do, and we're thriving, and we're growing, and we have better people coming in every day. So, just FYI on that. It's a fair question, but pyramids don't have a product. They don't have end users, and it's all money games. And we have a lot of people that only buy our product, and that's, in fact, at the end of the day, we have more people actually using our membership than buy it to make money. The other thing is, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, I could talk forever on that, but a fair question, especially with the suspicion in the world. That's good enough. Anita says, is Platinum Plus $12,500 or $15,000? It's $12,500, and it pays you if you are qualified at that level. You make a $7,000 commission. So it's very powerful pay plan. Great question. Is it possible to sell my Wyndham timeshare and transfer to GRN? I'm not sure Randy, it's definitely possible to sell your Wyndham timeshare. You can't transfer, you got to buy GRN. So however you buy GRN, whether you transfer funds from the sale of your Wyndham timeshare or not, I don't know, but you have to buy it. So you can't take, hey, I own this. Can I somehow transfer that and it grandfathers me into GRN in some way? That's not how the game is played. Great question. We have up to 30% of our, we have up to 30% of our buyers are timeshare owners. And more and more we're seeing timeshare owners, because a lot of timeshare owners are just saying, I'm done with timeshare and I want GRN. So very common. Here's another question. I heard you can get more than 10 weeks on Platinum for an extra fee. Is this true? Yes, Amanda. You can, once you use your 10 weeks, you can book through something called Instant Bookings. Instant Bookings is less inventory. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can continue to use Instant Bookings. But what you're doing is you're cutting off a lot of the inventory streams that I showed earlier. But it is possible. So we've had people vacation 14, 15 weeks in a year using the Instant Bookings category. So great question. To 1 in 4 rules. All right, let me look at this question real quick. All right, Amanda says, are you restricted to 1 in 4 rules like when you are switching timeshare? Like in Carlsbad, California. I just used my RCI points for Grand Pacific blah, 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 in December, but now I cannot go there again for 4 years with my RCI points. Now, I have not heard of this happening. One time with a Mayan Palace, I saw that it said a user in our membership can only stay at the Mayan Palace once every 3 years. I saw that, but what's nuts is I don't know if that's true, because I know I was going to book this other Mayan Palace within the time frame, and they didn't care. And I know of other people that have stayed at the same resort multiple times. So it might be a resort by resort deal, Amanda. So it's not like RCI though, where it's a hard and fast, you can stay here once every 4 years and then you're done. It's not like that. But I've seen it one time with the Mayan Palace. Great question. Scott, why are there no resorts in Cuba? Because it's Cuba. That's why lots of Canadians go there. It's true, Scott. It's because our travel provider is American-based, and it is illegal in our country to do business with Cuba. So that's why. Very fair question. It's just how it is. I'd love to go to Cuba. In fact, I didn't know that until I was visiting with some Canadians, and they're like, we love going to Cuba. And I said, why? And they're like, because there's no Americans there. Anyway. Zev says, how is it possible to sell these properties when people are leery of just such deals? Zev, I don't know. It's just, there's too much social proof. I mean, like if Gail bought it and joined it and used it, she's putting Facebook things out there. I mean, you go to Mark Hovers, you go to like in my Facebook, if you look at just photos of my life, all these vacations, I mean, I've got Hawaii vacations, I got so many vacations on here, it's ridiculous, but let's see, y'all, let me just show you a couple. So what happens, like here's Shani and I's latest trip to Hawaii. There's just so much social proof out there that the days of being leery it's just irresponsible. There's a difference between being skeptical and having due diligence. And what happens is if we were scamming people at any level, and they tried to book these trips and they go, oh my gosh, this was photoshopped, it's not real. Well, like I said, in the environment that we operate in, which is very transparent, I mean, I'm unmuting people I've never met before. So if I unmuted them and they're like, I bought this and it was a scam and oh my gosh, it's just, we could not function the way we do. So we function in a transparent environment, in part to overcome the skepticism that's very natural. And it's fair, because travel clubs rip off old people notoriously. These telemarketing people ripping off old people on travel clubs. In fact, I had a friend who, was a real person friend of mine who told another friend, once he found out I got success, I can't believe Mark went to taking advantage of old people to make money. Just assuming that I'm selling a scam because it's travel. But it's really not an issue because we have so much social proof and we have such a hopping community. So great questions. Chantel asked, are these $5,000 deal, is it a one-time or is it a annual? No, the $4,995 fee is a one-time lifetime membership. There's no maintenance fees. There's no $250 annual due. The $12,500 is a one-time lifetime 20-week membership per year. And many people, because our prices are so good, have thought that this is an annual due. It's not. You don't have a quota reach where you have to, if you want to make money, you have to sell one every 3 months. Although I think that's a great idea myself. But anyway, you don't have to keep your affiliate status, sell a certain volume to qualify for the $2,000 commissions and this and that. It's the easiest, most. Gosh, it's just, there's a reason I ended up choosing Global Resorts to build my wealth with, because it was the least gamey, the least weird. It was just a great product with a great comp plan, and that's the power of it. All right, I said this was going to be 30 minutes, but the questions keep rolling. Yeah, people said, I can't believe they thought it was a scam. Yes, Zev says, even this BBB site, okay, this is good. I'm going to work with this for a second. This business is not accredited. All accredited means is that we pay them money to be accredited. So accreditation is a matter of payment. And because we're officially network marketing, you cannot become accredited. It's against their policies. In fact, I had our staff call them because I wanted to become accredited. And they said MLMs are not allowed to be accredited. But the gist of it is, I would say to the person asking those kind of questions, hey, this might not be for you. It doesn't sound like it. That's okay. It's totally cool. So don't worry about it. It's not for you. You don't believe in it. That's cool, brother. It's no big deal. Anita says, can a company be a member? No. Great question, Anita. We get this all the time. Meaning, I own a restaurant. Can I buy it and have the 10 weeks and parse it out to my employees and stuff? No. As a personal membership, each week you have to be present at, you or your spouse. So it's not a buy it and you can divvy out the weeks, or you see a week like this and you buy it and put it on Craigslist and say, hey, save $3,000 and it's only $698 and you pocket $300. You lose your membership immediately. It's terminated if there's any monkey games like that. So there's that. I would say to the person who's really asking good, legit questions. Who invited you here? Mr. Z. We'll call you Mr. Z. Who invited you here? Like, who's the potential sponsor? Because you'll just want to get back with them and they can take it from there. These are great questions. Let me keep going. I'm in Canada too. No. Amanda asked, can we market, Evans, can we market in hotel meetings in Canada? The answer is no. We do not have legal status, meaning we do not have business-to-business legal status. We have Canadians buying it and using it all day long because the internet is geographically immune. It's not a physical place. Canada, in terms of operating in a mass market way via radio, via print, via hotel meetings, you can't do that. Can you sell your friends and family? Yes. Can people talk about it? Blah blah blah. Yes. Can you host a hotel meeting? No, you can't. Great question, Amanda. Let me keep going. Is this recorded? I love it. And I just got on. Yes, it is recorded. Can I use a guest pass for my family? Yes, that's booked out of instant bookings and those guest passes. There's some restriction on guest passes. I think in the summer months, guest passes are not available or they're greatly reduced because the best inventory is kept for paying members, which is fair and makes sense. Yeah, Mr. Z, you can contact me. Contact me on Facebook with your questions. I would say this way, and just as an act of being a sponsor to anybody, as long as Mr. Z, if I answer the questions and you like it, like you're willing, you have the resources financially to pay and get started. Because if you don't, I don't care to just answer questions to prove that this is legit. But if you're really sincerely interested, you have the resources to move forward, yes, for sure, email me. I'll deal with any questions that you have to make sure you feel good about what you're doing. Amanda says, can Canadians make money with this? Yes, absolutely. We have Canadians that make money. We probably pay out, we pay Canadians a lot of money every week. So there's a lot of Canadians. It's just when it comes to hosting hotel meetings, that's a no-no. We don't do hotel meetings. You can't do paper print. You can't mail postcards. You can't do radio. So, but you can go internet, and that's the primary means by which Global Resorts Network sales are made. All right, gang, we went overtime. Get back to the person that invited you here tonight. Get your questions answered. If you see it, raise your hand if you like what you saw tonight and you're thinking, you know what, this was good. I like this thing. This is what I like to see. I saw it, and I got a lot of these guests. That's what I'm here for you guys more than anybody else. So Mr. Z, who's asking these questions, this thing's for you. So no worries. We see those hands. Get back to the person that invited you here. Get your final questions answered. And especially as an income opportunity, this is extremely powerful. As a product, it's a life changer. In my life, and I will say it without, I just can say it with total integrity inside. The Global Resorts Network purchase was the best purchase I've ever made financially. It has caused my wife and I to go on dream romance trips, my family and I to go on dream bonding trips, my friends and I have gone to Hawaii, just the guys. It's caused father-son trips, family trips, bonding trips, brotherhood trips. It causes trips, and those are the best stuff in my life. Plus, it's given me an income, and I'm not making any income claim or guarantee, but it has changed my life in ways that are unimaginable. In this pay plan, when someone attends a webinar like this, and they were invited by someone you sponsored, and they join, which they do all the time, you make $2,000 in 0 minutes. It's possible, my friends. It happens all the time, and why not you? I'm signing out. Get back to the person that invited you here. Thanks for your time. God bless. Good night.
The organizer has ended the session.